Welcome to the Jacks for GT channel today. Thank you for joining us as we talk today about how to get gold in all of the National B license tests. So for those of you new to Gran Turismo, like I said in one of my previous videos, I used to be really big into Gran Turismos, played 1 through 5. Just got back into sport here recently and just refound the love for Turismo. So was extremely excited about 7. So now here we are. Just talk a little bit about what I'm playing on is the PlayStation 5 with the DualSense controller. For anyone that, is going to be playing with the controller and trying to get gold in these license tests, this will be a really good video for you to, just to try to see how the things that I took or the paths that I took through the particular license test to get gold. So I think it's probably about 9 tests. Let's see, we got starting and stopping 1, starting and stopping 2, cornering basics 1 and 2, cornering basics 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7, and then with the final exam, excuse me, with at Sarkuba. So let's go ahead and jump right in. And each one of these cars handles very differently. So some of the license tests you'll do this one twice with 2 different cars, one a slower car initially, and then a little bit faster car, as well as with the starting and stopping 1 and 2. So you kind of got to take that into consideration. So let's go ahead and jump right in and see what I did to get gold in all of these license tests.
And first test we're going to do the braking challenge with Demio XC turn number 15. So I'm going to take a quick look at my setup here to see what types of assists I'm using, which is only really one. So I'm using a manual transmission and definitely advise using a manual for racing as well as license checks. It's just the way to race. I mean, you have so much more control over the power band, accelerating, braking. So if you haven't started experimenting with a manual yet, maybe just get in the high speed ring, some circuits, just some practice time, and definitely recommend using a manual transmission. You will be so much faster and have so much more control of the car. So traction control is completely off there. Um, I don't use traction control at all. It's very rare. I might use one traction control, but that just takes away from the amount of power that you're giving to the tires. And, in a racing game, it's really hard to be fast when you have the computer in the car, throttling you when you need that power. So, traction control completely off. ABS default. I don't really mess with the braking. It's hard to mess with the braking on a controller. Um, Driver line assistance off, brake indicator off. All these assists I have off here except for ASM, which, like I said, I'm using the controller now. I'll be eventually migrating to the wheel, but it's really hard to race with ASM off on the controller. So recommend that one on. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look.
All right, not bad, not bad. 20 seconds and 4 tenths, and beat my previous time. So let's go ahead and take a quick moment to look and see exactly how I did this. Okay, so we're half throttle here, getting ready to start. You want to be half throttle, and as soon as the green light hits, you want to go ahead and push down all the way until full throttle, okay? You want to accelerate continually until you see the double cones that's going to be up here on the right past the 100 board. As soon as you see the cones break, downshift, hold down the brake, and if you time it right, you will land right on the braking pad. Okay, we actually used the ghost there to help us out. So, yeah, this was a tricky one, but I want to take a quick look again because the accelerator is key on the takeoff. So let's take one quick look back at what we did. Okay, so if we pay attention here at the throttle meter, it is below half because this car has a lot of power. So I seem to find that that takeoff point right there, right below the half throttle mark, will give you a pretty solid acceleration and give you enough time right here on the two double cones. Brake hard, downshift, hit the braking pad, and get success. So, you know, this particular challenge was a little bit different than the first car, but of course, if you can manage the accelerator, get off the line pretty fast, and then brake hard, you'll be successful.
And the Alsace village, and please don't hate me if I totally butchered that. So let's see, let's take a look. All right, sis, once again, still the same. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in.
Okay, success. Actually improved our time. I wanted to show y'all both of those runs there because there's a difference in why I didn't get gold the first time. So let's take a look real quick. Okay, so let's try to see where we went wrong. And it's definitely going to be in this right turn here. All right, looking good so far, looking good. But we just cut it a little too close, lose traction, run off of the road. Lose just a little bit of that tenth of a second that we needed to get up to the finish line there. So a half a tenth is lost. So let's check this run out here, and we take a much nicer approach to the apex on that right turn there, and you'll see we don't drive off the track. We take it nice and round. Tires never lose traction, and we come up the hill, downshift a second, so we maintain speed to the finish line. 14.6 new record.
And the TT Quattro, the Audi. So yeah, this one should be fun. Settings verification. Once again, everything's still the same.
Okay, looks like that was a pretty good run there. Is one little trick that I found on this license test that I want to point out to you guys, and it definitely involves using a manual transmission. So let's take a quick look one more time at the footage. Okay, so just like the previous test in the previous car, you want to take a nice rounded approach here to the apex, and you want to ride second gear a little bit longer than you'd like just to maintain speed right before you reach the crest of that hill there. And that's going to give you a little bit extra time to maintain your speed and your power as you're approaching the finish line there. So a little trick that I saw there with a manual transmission, riding second out just a little bit longer.
That's Sarcubas. Corner and basics, so let's see how we do it. Alright, quick check here. I'm
currently number fifth on my friends ranking too. Hopefully I'm can improve that, so get some bragging rights over these guys. I know they're looking at their hey Jax is down at the bottom, so let's see if we can fix that as well. Okay, so a pretty good run there. Let's take a quick look just to see exactly how we did it. This one right here shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so for this one here, I really just followed the tire marks or the tarmac actually. And if you stay wide there, really cut the inside there on the lip of the rumble strips, just come around the corner and following the tire screeches. You can actually cut this a little inside to save some time. And you should be able to get this one without too many issues. Let me know how you guys fared on that one. Around this time, a friend of mine used to have a Nismo Z 2007. I think they only made like 1,500 that year. Man, heck of a car. So really fun to drive. So let's jump right in. Corner basics number 4. All right, settings verification real quick. Still the same. All right, let's jump in. In my opinion, that was probably the hardest one out of all of them to do, but there was a tip or an actual trick, shall I say, that helped me get through it. So let's take a look and see exactly what I did. Okay, so this car is really throaty at the back, at the rear wheels here. So without traction control on, it's easy to lose a lot of traction. So right here, I upshifted to 4th gear. So I wouldn't get as much spin coming around this corner here. And you see the ghost goes flying off of the track because I kept losing traction coming around that home stretch there. So using the manual, coming around the first turn, upshift twice to 4th gear and continue the turn, and you'll have Providence. For those of us that's played like the first Turismo, man, Trial Mountain was one of the hardest tracks to overcome. So in the Escudo, I remember that license test there. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so pretty good run there. One of the things, because this one doesn't have any cone markers, it's tough to find landmarks to know when to brake and when to turn. So let me show you what I paid attention to on this run to get gold. Okay, so coming out of the underpass here, there's going to be a tree that I saw that I'm going to point out. It's right after this left turn sign, right there. As soon as you hit that, you hit the brakes, and then take the apex on the dotted white line. As soon as you see that orange person behind the fence there, start to accelerate. And those will give you two good landmarks to start braking, as well as when you're in the turn on the white dotted line. Then when you see the guy with the orange suit behind the fence there, just start accelerating, and you should be pretty good to get gold on this particular test. Okay, corner in basic 6 in the Evo. This one's pretty straightforward, so we're gonna just jump right in. Coming across the 200, the 150, the 100 board, right there, brake, hit the apex. Nice smooth acceleration coming out of the turn, upshift, ride second just a little bit to keep power going up the hill. But you shouldn't have too many problems with this one here. It's just a nice sweeping left turn and into the finish line. Tail Seaside. If I remember this one correctly, I feel like this car just did not want to turn. So let's take a look and see how it goes. Quick assist check. All right, Dragon Tail Seaside, one of the favorite tracks from Gran Turismo Sport. I think everybody loves this track. So let's take a look and see how we managed to get around that turn here. Okay, so coming down the hill, getting ready to make this right turn right past the Larini billboard. Definitely get your right tires right there on the rumble strips. Continue accelerating, brake hard, and you want to get as close to that apex as possible. I didn't get that close enough, but I still was able to hold the turn and get the gold trophy there. So good luck for that one. Made it all the way to the final exam. So let's go ahead and see what the Clio RS220 has for us on Tsukuba. B10 driving basics. All right, final exam in the Clio. So for this little S-turn here, try to hug the rumble strips on the left. We're gonna hug them again on the right, okay? You wanna take this U-turn a little wide so that you can come back in on the apex really sharp, even sharper than I did right there. Okay, follow the tire screeches back wide to the right, and right here, just coast this in second. If you can coast that in second, you'll be set up nicely for this final stretch run right here to the finish line. So good luck all. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share, let's talk a little bit about GT7. Tell me what you guys would like to see more of, and I'll try to definitely get some videos available for all to watch and enjoy. So thanks again. See you all on the tarmac. Signing off. Jax for GT.